It is Tuesday, May 9th, 2023. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by MLB 9 Innings. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan along for the ride as well. Quick reminder that today's episode is sponsored by MLB 9 Innings, which has a wide variety of game modes, from league mode, where users play through an entire season, to live play-by-play. They have over 2,000 player cards to collect and use in your dream roster, the most up-to-date rosters, team logos, ballparks, and uniforms, and they're introducing new historic Hall of Famers to MLB 9 Innings, including Larry Walker, Walter Johnson, Hank Aaron, Michael Jack Schmidt, Trevor Hoffman, and more. Download and play MLB 9 Innings 23 today with the link in the description. And oh, by the way, we'll have our MLB 9 Innings question of the week coming up on Friday's show, so get them in by Thursday night. Plouffe, we always look for fun. I think people probably understand what we're looking for now on the question of the week, right?
Something fun, something a little bit different, something thought-provoking. Yes. Just hit all those notes, and you yourself, are they going to be rich and famous like you? Don't you always say that?
I do say rich, famous, and Baseball Today swag. So I can promise one of the three. I don't know which one.
I think so.
But I will promise one. So there you go. Yeah, don't give us the question, do you think the Blue Jays are better than the Rays? Like, that's one that we ask on Baseball Today during the week, maybe occasionally.
Do you, Chris? Well, do you?
I don't know yet, Trevor. I'll let you know shortly. I am wearing my Mets blue today. Why
is that supposed to be me?
No, I don't know. I'm in a weird mood today. Sorry.
Okay.
So I'm wearing my Mets blue because I'm trying to get them going a little bit. I think baseball is better when the Mets are better. They have dropped 4 straight series, 11 of 14 overall. Max Scherzer starts a 3-game series in Cincinnati. Got lit up in his first game back after serving that 10-game suspension. How important is tonight's start for the future Hall of Famer?
I'm worried about this start, Rosie, because all the reports say, like, he's pitching through injury. Max himself came out and said, like, I know this thing, and, basically, like, I just have to pitch through it. But then he also goes on to say that I know if I just rest it, it'll be okay. So I'm like, wait a minute. Like, what are we doing going out there then? If all this thing needs is rest to get better, like, let's just take a week off, bro. And I think, he's such a competitor, and the way the Mets have been going, he wants to be out there. But I don't know if I want like a 50% Max Scherzer on the hill working his way back on an injury. Like, let's just get this thing all dialed in. They need pitching help. There's no doubt about it. They've been riddled with injuries. I know Cookie Carrasco's he has a rehab start either tonight or was it yesterday or something. So he's on his way back. But another thing that people aren't really talking about during this slide is, their 2 best hitters have been brutal. I mean, Alonso and Francisco Lindor just have been non-existent at the plate. So there's a lot of things the Mets need to get going. But this Scherzer thing is concerning to me just because of what he said about the injury. I hope he gets through it, and I hope that he gets his rest, I guess, because we want to see a full force Max Scherzer, not some guy that's just battling through injuries. I know the Mets fans don't want to see that.
But does any of it have to do with him coming off of the suspension? Because people might say, hey, listen, he's 38 years old. Who knows? Maybe he needs a little extra help these days. And now, I mean, he was adamant about saying, listen, it was just rosin and sweat. It was just rosin and sweat. And it may have been. That's all it may have been. But facts are facts. He was suspended 10 games for utilizing a foreign substance, and he did not appeal it. Okay? So there is that aspect that we all have to watch. And if for some reason he doesn't get it back, then do we all look at Max Scherzer differently?
I don't think so. I mean, not if he's dealing with this injury. I think we can point to that. And he also said that his start back, or the first start back, that he used rosin the exact same way that he used rosin the prior game. So it's like, I don't think Max is a cheater. Like, I don't think he's using performance enhancing substances. I just don't. I don't think the numbers really support that either. So I don't want to use that as some sort of excuse for him. It seems to me like he's just not 100%.
Well, I can tell you this. He's not the same guy. He's had 5 starts this year. The most strikeouts in a game, 6. He struck out more than 6 in a game 14 times in 23 starts last year. This year in 5 starts, he has twice given up at least 5 earned runs in a game. He didn't do that once all last regular season. This is not the same guy. I'm going to have to be watching him closely because I wonder if at some point Max Scherzer's no longer Max Scherzer. Now, I don't believe that in my heart because I love watching him pitch. I love to watch the competitor. I love to watch like the craziness of his eyes going all over the place. I love to watch him be irritable when guys are checking him when he's coming off the mound. I like watching him when he's huffing and like everything about him is hilarious. Like he's all over the place. He's moving a zillion miles an hour. He's one of the pitchers where you say, I got to watch everything because I don't know what I'm going to get. But also for the first time in a while, I sit there and wonder, have we seen the best of Max Scherzer? Is it done?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so at all. I would not describe Max Scherzer as like humorous or fun on the mound. I would describe him as terrifying. That's what I would describe him as. Okay.
But I'm just saying the whole package of him.
No, I know. Like, I know what you're saying.
Snorting. I can't imagine he's a lot of fun to watch, to go against.
It's not. And look at my career numbers. They're very, very bad against Max Scherzer. Very bad. I don't know. I just get healthy, man. If that means going on the IL and missing a couple more starts, it's May. Like, let's get this thing figured out. Like, he's saying he can pitch through it, but it needs rest. I don't know. That's contradicting statements, if you ask me.
Okay, I want to move on to the health of another really stud pitcher in the National League East. We got late news on Tuesday morning that Max Fried is going back on the injured list. There was a forearm issue. There was an MRI done. They don't think there's anything structural. You hear forearm, you think the worst about Tommy John surgery, which he had nearly a decade ago when he was just rising through the ranks. There's another question I want to get to about the Braves and Red Sox series, which will start tonight in Atlanta. But as far as Fried, how worried are you about this?
Always worried. When you talk about forearms, the first thing you think, tight forearm, holy shnikes, TJ, here we come. But like you said, there was imaging done on it, and they have been saying that they don't think that's going to happen, and we just need some time. I just found out this morning, so I haven't had a ton of time to process this. I wish Max all the best. You know how I feel about the guy. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's one of the best people in baseball. And I've known him for a long time. So you hope for the best. You hope it is what they say. Just, something that needs some time to kind of calm down a little bit.
And Braves big picture here, they have dealt with some injuries in the starting rotation. They've had to use some young guys who haven't exactly fit the bill. They're hoping that Soroka is the answer. But once again, for a guy whose entire career has been plagued by injuries, I don't know if that's the answer. And if Max Fried is down for the long term, then Alex Anthopoulos is going to have to get back on that horn again and try and do something maybe big time if they want to try and get back to the World Series. We certainly wish him well. We'll be keeping our eye on that story as it continues to develop. As for Atlanta, they just took 2 out of 3 against the Baltimore Orioles, and now they welcome in arguably the hottest team in the American League, the Boston Red Sox, who played very well. Interestingly, we have the 2 reigning players of the week over in the AL, Masataka Yoshida, NL Sean Murphy. So who was the better pickup, in your opinion, in the offseason between those two?
I hate stuff like this. Look, hopefully you're talking about Sean Murphy and that big old butt. Obviously, he was a great pickup for him. The reason I'm going to go with Yoshida, is because I don't think the Braves, obviously he is a great pickup for them and he's helped immensely. But I don't know if they actually needed that to be a good team. The Red Sox complete identity as a team right now is offense. And what Yoshida's been able to do lately has been eye-popping. Since April 20th, he's just gone off. What happened on April 20th on 420, bro? Did you calm down a little bit or something? He's been going nuts. He's hitting all 16 games since then. 28 hits, 48 total bases for a 438, 479, 750 line, a 1.2. And he struggled before that date because he was hitting the ball on the ground a lot. And I guess they made some mechanical change in his swing or his stance, not even his swing, his stance. They opened him up a little bit. And he says he's been able to see the ball a lot better since he's done that. And I love stuff like that. Look, the guy comes over from Japan. We see him in the WBC. Everyone goes, this guy's the savior. He comes and struggles right away. And to be able to make an adjustment that quickly and get back to who he is as a hitter is awesome to see. Will Middlebrooks has a great tweet out there right now. I want to read it to him and get it up because this is very impressive. And now I can't even. Last week, he saw 90 pitches, didn't swing and miss once. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So I love watching Yoshida hit. And again, I think because Boston's identity as a team is just offense, he's been the better pickup.
And by the way, you talk about no swing and miss in his game, only 11 strikeouts in 112 at bats this year. That's pretty darn special. You're right. I am going to talk about Sean Murphy. Yes. Remember last year at the trade deadline, there were rumors about several teams, including my Cleveland Guardians, who would make a play for him. And people are like, oh, no, the asking price is so high. Well, on yesterday's show, we spent a ton of time talking about the St. Louis Cardinals and how they paid now a designated hitter almost $90 million in free agency. Well, the Braves didn't extend Murphy for that much, and they're going to get a guy who can catch their pitching staff every day, even though Travis d'Arnaud has just been activated off the injured list. Murphy, second in the league in OPS, top 10 in WAR. He already has 9 homers, which is half of his season best total of 18. I don't understand why people didn't trade for him. And you said he's a luxury piece to have in Atlanta. I could see that side of the argument. He also might be the reason why they win their second World Series in 3 years. He is that good. Once again, I can't tell you exactly what catchers do, but when their numbers are as good as they've been and they've had to shuffle starters in and out of that rotation over the first 6 weeks of the season, that means somebody's doing something good behind the plate.
No, he's an absolute stud. This is why I hate when you make me choose between two guys that are incredible that have helped their teams. I mean, like you just said, ALNL Player of the Week, man. You make it so hard on me on this show.
And if you think, by the way, I am not going to choose somebody who's known for their large ass, shame on you, people. You don't know the Rose Caboose very well.
Can you imagine Sean Murphy's ass, Yoshida's calves put together?
Woo!
We're talking about one of the better lower halves of all time if we did that. Frankenstein style.
It sounds like if you combine me with Jake Storiale. I've got to be honest
that's disgusting. Oh, my goodness.
What? Why is that disgusting?
Look, bro, don't make my stomach feel like that at this time in the morning.
That's a girl's dream come true. Stop that. All right, speaking of making your booty look good, I want to tell you about our friend over at Bird Dogs. I got a box arrived to the house yesterday.
Me too.
I was like, what is this? And Michelle said, it's from something called Bird Dogs. We opened it up, and it was like harp started playing because I am a sweatpants, shorts-wearing fiend. Okay, that's what I wear every day. Bird Dogs are comfortable. I actually put them on last night. I did a little fashion show for Michelle. And, you know, most of the time she's honest, right? We've been together almost 30 years, so we can say whatever we need to about each other. Mm-hmm. Okay, occasionally I lie, but you understand what we're talking about. So I could tell in her eyes whether she likes something I'm putting on.
Okay.
There's some days where it's like, but then I put on the Bird Dog sweatpants. She's like, all right, dog, I see you. So I look better and I feel great. And I've got confidence when I put these things on. They are stretchy fabric. They make my chunky legs look great. They are way more comfortable than any sweatpants or shorts that I've got. I've tried them all. They give me the freedom to wear one pair if I'm going to go out and caddy for Plouffe during the day. But then I've got, kind of a nice little dinner at night or something. I can wear it. I'm versatile. So that is the cool thing. Click the link in the description. Go to birddogs.com. When you enter the promo code today, they're going to throw in a free Yeti-style tumbler with every order. Come on now.
They sent us one. It was awesome. It's a nice little gift.
Thank you. So go out and enjoy this. I've got a bunch of. In fact, I'll hold these up. Here's the sweatpants. They look unbelievable. They've got the stretchy fabric. They feel great. I'm wearing a pair right now. They're like butter on me. And then here's what I like. By the way, your shorts.
Yeah, I like the shorts a lot.
Some of them come in with the underwear built in. So if you're into that, you're good. You're good.
Did you say Michelle wanted to bird your dog?
I'll leave that for later.
Okay.
We continue on. After a tough few days, Willson Contreras returned to his old stomping grounds on the north side of Chicago. He got a nice video tribute. Then most of the people were clapping for him when he had his first plate appearance. And then this happened when he got his first knock.
On the ground, and welcome back to Chicago. And look at him. Look at Contreras. Say boomy some more.
He had a big night as the Cardinals actually put together a winning streak for the first time in a month. What'd you think of him kind of egging everybody on? Say, okay, you want to boo me a little bit? I'll have at it.
What have we done to this guy? Like, he is now like a masochist. Like, he loves to get yelled at and booed and people telling him he's bad. Like, what have we? This guy's had one of the stranger 2 weeks in like the history of baseball. Like, we're telling him he's our catcher for the next 5 years. Then we're saying, actually, you're going to play the outfield. Then we're saying, actually, you're going to DH. And then we're saying, actually, Wainwright wanted to throw to me. And then you go back to Chicago, you get a little booze, a little claps. It's been wild for this guy.
Right.
Like, and I don't, it seems like he's handling it like the right way. Like, he's just like, I'm just going to go out and play. What else can he do? I thought that was great. I loved it, man. Like, what are you supposed to do in that instance?
No, I thought he handled it great. I thought it was done well. I love that Marcus Stroman clapped for him as well. He was actually pitching during the game, about to face him. I thought that was a nice little moment too. But I think the bigger story was that there were quotes from several guys: Jack Flaherty, Adam Wainwright, Oli Marmol. They all met with Contreras on Sunday, and Waino, who's one of the leaders of the team, came out and said, "Hey, listen, we told him we love him. We want him here. We want him to succeed." I don't know if he's heard that before, but we needed him to hear it. So how long is this story going to continue on?
I have no idea. It seems like something new comes out every single day. We have been talking about it almost every single show. I wish that it wasn't this way. I wish that he was just playing ball and we could just say, hey, look, he's having a nice start to the year or whatever like that, just talking about what's going on in the field. But it seems like something comes out of, the Cardinals clubhouse every single day. I don't know when it's going to end. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it ends if they put together and they win 6 of 8 and they go from 9 games back to 6. And then all of a sudden we're saying, oh, it's not that bad. And they certainly have enough talent. Nobody in the NL Central is going to run away, which, by the way, I think is very much in play. Yes. I really do. Even though this team's gotten off to its worst start in over 50 years, I think that because of the division lacks some serious punch at the top, that the Cardinals, as long as they just get their shit straight. Now, I think they've actually kind of weathered the worst part of this storm over the weekend, which was them not saying that he was the problem, but by removing him from the catching role, that it is the problem. But
that's not the problem with their team, though. That's the whole thing about this. He's not the reason they're losing, dude. Like, so just like fixing this story doesn't fix the team. Like, they need better pitching. They need better starting pitching. They need better relievers. And that's not all on Willson Contreras, dude.
No, it's not. And by the way, that's what Wainwright wanted to point out. He was like, listen, this is on us. Like, we have to do a better job as pitchers, no matter what goes on with game planning and pitch calling and all that sort of stuff, which these days is more in the hands of the pitchers than ever before with PitchCom, by the way.
Yes.
But like Miles Michaelis had been a huge problem for them. And last night he did a good job. His pitch count was still pretty high, but he limited damage and he kept them in the game and ended up winning it. And that's what they need. You know what they all need to do? Shut up and play baseball.
Whoa, bro. Did you say shut up and dribble?
No, I did not. There is a big difference. Because if they were talking about worldly matters that are more important than baseball, I would want to listen. But when we're talking about they're talking too much baseball. Wouldn't you agree?
I think they're just talking about the wrong things. Like, this is all stuff that should have been in the freaking clubhouse, man. It's been too much publicity on the Cardinals. I don't like it at all. And let me tell people this, because you brought it up, so I want to mention it. I wasn't going to say this. Now I'm going to say it, Rosie. If you're a gambling man at all, this is the cheapest you're going to get the Cardinals all season to make the playoffs, to win the division. If you want to sprinkle, now's the time. Just saying, if you believe in that franchise at all and their ability to fix things, and be back in a weakened division, now's the time.
AL West, the top 4 teams continue to play kind of a little mini round-robin tournament. Rangers won the opener of their series up in Seattle. Halos took care of Houston last night down in Anaheim. Game 2 of that series, really good pitching matchup. Framber taking on Shohei. Are you more interested in watching Shohei try and navigate that Astros lineup or Shohei trying to do some damage at the dish against one of the top left-handers in baseball?
I definitely want to see Framber pitching against Shohei more than I want to see Shohei going up against that Houston lineup. I love watching Framber pitch, and I love watching Shohei hit. It's both of them kind of do things differently than most of starters or hitters, and I just like the way they approach things. And I was curious. I didn't know the numbers between Framber and Shohei, and Framber's gotten the better of Shohei.
Dominated.
He's actually has the hitter that has the most at bats against Framber Valdez is Shohei Ohtani with 26 at bats, only 4 hits, Chris, for a 154 average, a 582 OPS. He has some walks against him. He's got some strikeouts. But I always like to see, like, is Framber just going to keep pitching him that way because he's had success? And if so, has Shohei made an adjustment? And will he start to get the better of Framber? And then there's the chess move, and there's the chess move. Those are the things I like to see. Shohei's such a good baseball savant, if you will, that I believe he will make the adjustment. And then Framber, it'll be his turn. So I want to see if there's something like that going on in this game. I love that matchup so much.
It's interesting because obviously the most interesting thing about Shohei is that when he pitches, he can still be so dominant at the plate and own it, right? We saw recently the guy almost hit for the freaking cycle when he was on the mound. But in this sort of instance, when you're going against a top-line starter, I almost give him a pass as a hitter. Like, I think it's all incumbent on Shohei, the pitcher, to keep the Angels in this game. And he has been flat-out unbelievable on the mound this year. He's 3rd in strikeouts. He still walks too many guys. He gives up the gopher ball occasionally in the last few starts. But he's actually done pretty well against the Astros in his career. 3-3 in 10 games, an ERA of 3.47, 68 strikeouts in 49 innings. Not bad against one of the better teams in baseball since Shohei came into the league. So I think if he does a nice job on the mound, whatever he gives them at the plate is gravy. And really, it's on the other guys, and particularly the right-handed hitters in that Angels lineup, to kind of carry the halos a little bit.
Can you imagine having Shohei's ability? Every time we talk about it, I just think about it. It's ridiculous. You know what's funny? You want to hear something that, maybe it makes me a little jealous. See, Rosie, I'm showing Olivia all of our new beautiful shirts that we have in our John Boy Media shop, shop.johnboymedia.com. We have the Players Association line. Yes. And she's like, ooh, I want that Shohei Ohtani shirt.
Uh-oh.
She want a shirt with another guy's face on it?
Hey. She saw the column where I forget if it was on ESPN or on The Athletic. I forget where they did it, where they polled 26 major league executives and saw that the average salary that he's going to get, the average contract he's going to sign for, is going to be like more than $520 million. She ain't no dummy. If Shohei knocked on that
everything
door
for her.
If Shohei knocked on that door and was like, "Hey, Liv, let's kick it. We're going to Vegas for the weekend." Plouffe,
No.
you'd be crying on my shoulder. That's okay.
This is taking a bad turn. I don't like this. Do I hate Shohei Ohtani now?
No, you don't. You should not.
Listen, I think I do.
Worry. Hey, he will love her and support her the way that
oh my God. I'm out.
Today's episode sponsored by Shady Rays. These guys, I want you to take on the sun with gear that is built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades at a very affordable price. In fact, Shady Rays offers a world-class product just as good as any top-line expensive pair you've ever worn. But guess what? They're going to keep money in your pocket. That's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in the history of eyewear. I've told you a ton of times. If you break these things, if you lose them, even on day one of purchase, you just call them up and go, "Shady Rays, it's Chris Rose. I can't believe it. I did it again. I broke my Shady Rays. I'm sorry." "Hey, Mr. Rose, that's okay. We've got your address. We'll send you another pair." "Am I going to get charged?" No, we'll replace them. but it was my fault. We don't care. We don't care. We love our customers. Here, accept this pair. You don't even have to be careful because if you break them again, we'll be here for you. We'll be here. Just call us. That's awesome. And exclusively for our listeners.
Oh, my gosh.
Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com. Use the code today for 50% off 2+ pair of polarized sunglasses. You got me? Shadyrays.com. Use the code today. 50% off 2+ pair of polarized sunglasses. Yeah.
You're on one today. Oh, my gosh. You're making fun of everybody, even yourself.
Oh, and wait for this because the best story is yet to come. Tigers took the opener of a 3-game set in my hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. Akil Baddoo almost Akil'd his boys while trying to steal second. Mike Zunino's throw went right there. Andres Jimenez then picked off the ricochet off the onions and tagged him out. That's a 2-for-1 deal, if you will. Baddoo, who does not wear a cup during games because he's an outfielder, said, I might have to rethink that. Really?
That was, look, the whole thing, like him getting hit there, funny. I like it. It's
not funny.
It's going to happen from time to time. But the fact that Jimenez snatched that fucking ball off the ricochet is insane, Chris. Like, that is... Like, I know that it's kind of lucky and like his glove was just there, but like he has feel for that. Like he has feel for that ball. As soon as it hit his leather, he felt it, closed that bad boy up and kept the tag on him. It's as he's like getting out of the way. This is an incredible play all the way around. Like it has everything. It's got the funny aspect or the painful aspect, whichever way you want to look at it, but then amazing defensive work as well. This is nuts, dude. I love Jimenez. The more I watch that kid play, the more I like it.
He's smooth. Gold Glover a year ago. Perhaps he should be wearing a rubber surgical glove out on the field as well.
Fondling right around that area.
If you're scoring at home, that is 2D4 on the tag out.
Did you hear what I said?
What?
So that's fucking nuts.
Do you ever get hit in the nuts on the baseball diamond? Do you ever take one?
I always wore a cup. Always. Even when I was a pitcher, I wore a cup. I just felt like my uniform wasn't complete unless I had a cup on.
Well, I mean, we all know the story about Adrian Beltre. Ended up on the, one of the great defensive third basemen of our time. Took one right there, didn't wear a cup, ended up on the injured list with I don't even want to say it.
That sounds horrible. You know who didn't wear a cup? Yeah, your guy. You're just about to say his name.
Juan Uribe.
Didn't need a cup.
Well, you know why he said? They talked to him afterward. He took a shot out in Anaheim one time when he was playing for Cleveland, and we were all watching. It was like, oh, my God. And they talked to him afterward. He was like, I don't wear a cup. You don't wear a cup because they can't find one big enough.
I'm not going to comment on that, but holy, Juan.
All right. Vinny Pasquantino, the latest guest co-host on the Chris Rose rotation. Plouffe was nice enough to get Evan Longoria on the show as well. That made the rounds. There's another clip that's out just this morning about Longo and Vinny talking about your Blitzball walk-off celebration in the warehouse.
I didn't see that. I gotta check that out. Okay.
Yeah, it's really, really fun. And we got all that stuff coming up. Don't forget, Blitzball Battle 3 continues tonight, 6 o'clock Eastern with game number 6. Make sure you tune in. Everybody will be in the chat. It'll be a ton of fun. So for our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, and the always entertaining and intelligent and good-looking, and don't worry, Olivia's never going to leave him, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We will see you Wednesday on Baseball Today.